Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Nina's Chelsea Corner. If you're new around here, I hope you're all doing well and have had a good weekend. And obviously if you were a Chelsea fan, you did, as did I. But a lot has been happening. There is a lot to talk about. And while there is nothing so concrete in terms of closing in to another signing, there is still reason to believe that Chelsea are obviously going to sign someone before the deadline, and we have heard certain rumours that Toney could be perhaps a signing that we make before the window closes. Osimhen's obviously not necessarily a closed book, but yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll also discuss the potential Sterling and Sancho swap. Interesting and weird as well. We'll talk about that. Kepa Arrizabalaга's loan move to Bournemouth, and of course the potential that Trevor Chalobah could stay if Disasi is to be sold. So yeah, we're gonna be busy in this kind of the last few days of this week, and I'm not surprised. I don't think you are either. Classic Chelsea, classic. And I think that we do love a deadline day bomb. We do love to be in the headlines throughout the window, at the end of the window, and I think Chelsea are now quite desperate to obviously get business done. We knew that while signings have been coming in the last 2 weeks, we wanted to see and gain clarity with the exits and perhaps the plan for which players will be loaned out, which will be sold, and I think we're now kind of quickly finding solutions for those players. And while it may seem that we're still unsure who those players will be in Enzo Maresca's list of 25, I think we're slowly gaining a little bit more clarity and a bit more of an idea as to who stays. Now, I know that it's still very fresh that we beat Wolves 6-2 away, and I personally am still happy, really excited about it. And it is, however, quite strange to me that because we scored 6 goals, people are now suddenly absolutely fine turning away the opportunity of signing an Toney because we apparently don't need a striker. Now, if we take that amazing result away and we look at the bigger picture, you know, we must not get carried away. Chelsea signing a striker, for me, was crucial and still is crucial in this window. Because, and just simply because, the two out-and-out number 9s in Nicholas Jackson and Mark Yu, I don't think are enough. And, you know, consider one of them gets injured, what happens? And that's saying if Guy is going to be part of this squad and he's not going anywhere, you know, one injury and then what? You know, you're potentially looking at something that Enzo Maresca said he's quite open to doing, playing an Nkunku perhaps up top, maybe a Joao Felix. But again, I don't think that this will be enough for Chelsea to be able to compete for our targets and the trophies that we would like to win this season. I think we will need to sign someone. And if it is Toney, I'm open to it. Chelsea fans, let me know in the comments down below who you would prefer, Victor Osimhen or Toney. Now, for the longest time, I have thought I really wanted, Victor Osimhen. Purely because I thought, you know, he fits the kind of profile in terms of age. You know, he's quite athletic as well. He's got a lot of consistency to him, what he's done at Napoli. Toney obviously had some time out from football, but when he returned, you know, you saw his impact the little time he played at the Euros as well. The player in him there, someone that, you know, has good link-up play, can put goals away, is very physical, you know, can header, can score, shoot, everything, and has done it in the Premier League. I'm now more open and warming up to that a lot more, and I think I would, and it makes more sense in terms of feasibility, the wages, and etc. Some people might argue, yeah, but he's older, you know, he's coming up to 30 in a couple years. However, I think because now it's coming to the end of the window, I think we could be in a better negotiation position because Brentford will be keen to sell him for a fee. Otherwise, you know, you risk him going on a free, and at the end of the day I think they're both done, both parties, the player and the club, and want to just find the best deal possible. And of course it benefits Ivan Toney, you know, he doesn't really necessarily want to go to Saudi. Chelsea, as has been said, offers Premier League football, and as a player who would definitely have been missing playing football for the time he was out, I think he is keen and would love a move like this. So it's going to be an interesting, it's going to be an interesting couple of days to see how this unfolds. Again, you know, we've opened talks, there has been a move made, but nothing too concrete, so we won't get too ahead of ourselves being excited, but I will say I am open to it. I'd be keen to find out if you are too. So let me know in the comments down below. Now, another thing that has popped up is a potential swap deal between Chelsea and Manchester United for players Raheem and Jadon Sancho. Now, this one has surprised me, I can't lie, and it's quite funny because I think the reception from Chelsea fans is better than the one from Manchester United fans. I don't think many of them want Raheem Sterling. It's actually crazy that he could, you know, would have played at 4 out of the 6, you know, your so-called traditional top 6 clubs, which is just mad to see. He obviously, I don't think, would mind it really if it means that he gets to continue playing Premier League football and he can perhaps, you know, compete to have like a regular place, which is uncertain at Chelsea moving forward. Now, we've all seen the player does want to play consistently. He wanted clarity from Chelsea with the whole statement scandal that unfolded just before our opening fixture. And, you know, we won't talk about that too much because we all know the story. We know how it has, you know, gone down. But potentially Sterling would benefit and would prefer to stay in the Premier League and play football. I think that is probably the case. In terms of signing Jadon Sancho or having Sancho at the club, I've always rated him as a player. I think he has been unlucky in his career, and, you know, it's almost like the next move that he makes in his career needs to be one that is going to kind of ground him, where he can just get some minutes, play, build his confidence again and develop, because he is still quite young, and I think loads of different parts of his career have maybe hindered his development a little bit. But, you know, you look at the talent that is there definitely is something. I think the question just is, again, what is the plan for Sancho? Where does he fit in? And if we are talking about Sterling going and potentially Madrid going on a loan, maybe you might argue that makes a little bit more sense. But then that is the question, you know, what is the plan here for the other players? The last thing you want really is oversaturated in that position. And, you know, there's a lot of players now we have in those kind of frontline spaces that, while they don't necessarily have big egos, I think they would be players that will think and would want and deserve to perhaps have regular minutes and be first teamers. But again, that's up to how they work. That's up to Maresca, not for us to decide. But yeah, I'm just kind of a little bit unsure about this one. But yeah, I think it will be interesting to see how it unfolds. I'd be keen to find out your thoughts, guys. What would you think is best? Would you take Jadon Sancho at Chelsea? And yeah, I mean, it just would be really the most Chelsea thing, but it seems that we are going to be doing some more business before the window closes. And in other news, Kepa Arrizabalaga has secured himself a season-long loan deal to Bournemouth. Now, the fact that we've been unsure what we're going to do with Kepa when he comes back, the fact that we're not too sure exactly what the plan is and if we'll ever even come close to ever making up that money that we spent on the record goalkeeper fee. And look, you know, we all kind of agreed that there is really no room for Kepa to come back into our first team squad. So I think for him it is a little bit of an interesting move, you know, kind of going from Chelsea to Real Madrid to Bournemouth. It's obviously quite an interesting career path, but I don't know. I wish him all the best. Yeah, in my head, no disrespect, but I've just kind of forgotten this last year that Kepa's really been a Chelsea player. But obviously he's back. I wish him all the best. No hard feelings really, but yeah, it's safe to say that that didn't really ever work out. So we'll see what happens with him at Bournemouth. And if there are any Bournemouth fans watching this video, Let me know how you feel about that. Let me know how you guys feel. But yeah, it's definitely a lot. There's a lot of chatter, there's a lot of whispers, there's a lot of a talk about different possibilities and different rumours on things. And again, we know that we've been talking, we've been negotiating this whole window, but it's coming up to the end, and we're obviously going to seek a little bit more, well, we're going to have some more clarity as the week kind of comes to a close. But, you know, I'm happy that we've kind of sorted out the whole Lukaku situation. You know, that's the weight off our shoulders. If we can see what happens with Sterling, you know, this is all good in terms of the wage structure and exactly what we've kind of been trying to build in sort of a structure in the last kind of year or so. So yeah, it's interesting, but we will again find out in the next few days. Let me know how you guys are feeling in the comments down below. Would you take Ivan Toney? Would you have Jadon Sancho? If there's just one transfer that Chelsea will make and could make, which and who would that be? I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Leave your comments down below, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Up the Chelsea.